I thank the Honourable Member for the end of the week statement, and I now give the floor to the Minister responsible. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I thank the Honourable Member for her end of the week statement. Let me begin by saying I'm no defender of pornography, but Honourable Tabuya and I disagree seriously about how we get there. I believe that porn is bad, as most of us, I'd like to think, do. And bad is too mild a word. Porn is destructive, it is vile. And it absolutely should never fall into the hands of children. I believe we can create a Fijian society where men and women can enjoy safe and healthy relationships in the real world and don't find sexual satisfaction online. On her Facebook, Honourable Tabuya says it's smart policy for the government to regulate the internet and institute a porn block. In fact, I'd like to quote her, she says, "The porn block is an ambitious attempt by UK policymakers to restrict access to pornographic websites by underage children." She failed to say, Honourable Speaker, that this attempt in 2017 by the UK government has been delayed indefinitely in 2019. A statement made by the UK government because of the various challenges that surrounds porn block. Let's shed some facts on that assertion.
Order.
The experiences of other nations who have tried the same teach us that pornography bans are virtually impossible to implement. There's been a lot of talk about the sources Honourable Tabuya claims have informed her positions. Well, there are only 3 key internet service providers in Fiji, and all 3, Vodafone, Digicel and Telecom Fiji Limited, have written to the Attorney General and Minister for Communications, confirming they have had 0 communication with Honourable Tabuya on this issue. Nor have they disclosed any statistics to her or anyone else. In fact, Honourable Speaker, the 3 telcos reaffirmed this position on mainstream media yesterday. So I don't know who she thinks she's been talking to, but we actually have spoken to these telco companies, and they've explained to us in great detail the many easy ways anyone can circumvent an internet ban. We would also need to come up with a firm definition of what constitutes a pornographic video or image. Otherwise, decades-old photos showing bare-breasted indigenous women would only be wiped from our history books, but classified as illegal. Intimate photos or home videos shared between couples could also land them in legal peril. And even if we could block the many millions of sites hosting X-rated material, with new ones popping up every hour, this doesn't even begin to consider social media and private messaging apps. Mr. Speaker, sir, even if Fiji were to implement any type of ban on pornography, those resources would go to waste with just a few clicks of the mouse. On any computer or smartphone with access to the internet, in just 5 minutes, a person can download a VPN, virtual private network, to change their IP address to another country and avoid a Fijian internet block. To implement such a ban would be to throw money straight down the drain, or to delay a would-be viewer the 5 minutes it takes to find a way around the restrictions and access one of the literally millions of pornographic websites online. Banning pornography would yield for us 3 scenarios. 1, the creation of an illicit market. When we prohibit the access to a commodity by the whims of passing a law, there's definitely going to be a set of people who'd like to capitalize the opportunity and try to run an illegal system. 2, it would further solidify our already traditional perception that sex is a taboo. So every time that a young girl gets caught having sex, she is beaten up by her brothers or has her hair shaved off by her parents to shame her.
School them, Minister.
C, a rise in subscriptions to virtual private networks. So what's next, Honorable Tabuya? With so many loopholes to avoiding a ban, would Fiji then criminalize the consumption of pornography? Would you propose locking up any of your supporters who watch in the privacy of their own homes? I think not.
School them.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Tabuya has also claimed that pornography is linked with sexual violence. Again, let's look at the facts. Norway, Finland, Switzerland, Denmark, and Iceland are routinely ranked as some of the safest places to be a woman in the world. None of these countries have banned internet pornography.
Tell them.
On the other hand, take a nation like Egypt. Despite an official decision to ban pornography in 2009, in 2013, 99% of Egyptian women reported they have been sexually harassed. And that's data provided by UN Women, a source we know actually exists. So, Mr. Speaker, not only would Honorable Tabuya's proposed pornography ban fail, her reasoning is totally off base. But I think she already knows that. She knows that Fijian women have been sexually abused. She knows that Fijian women have been sexually abused. She knows that Fijian women have been sexually abused long before anyone in Fiji gained access to the internet. She knows that the root of sexual violence in Fijian society has always been a deep-seated patriarchal mentality that sees women inherently as less than men in their homes and communities. But, Mr. Speaker, she and the other female members of the opposition also know that they have an appalling record when it comes to advocating for victims of domestic violence. She knows the nation remembers her shameful silence when Honorable Mbulitavu made his racist and backwards claims about victims of domestic abuse in Fiji. Now she's looking for any cause, no matter how unrealistic, she can take up to erase that stain on her political career. To those who share my genuine concern about pornography and violence against women, join me and our Honorable Prime Minister in pursuing a real solution. A solution that starts with the values we teach young Fijians. Truly freeing Fiji from porn. Order. Truly freeing Fiji from porn begins with instilling in our young people good character. Let's teach our sons to respect girls, to see them as equals, and to support their dreams. Honorable Tabuya has very articulately produced the statistics provided by the DPP's office. And on that note, I'd like to thank the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for the monthly statistics that they produce in relation to sexual offenses. We keep an eye out for these statistics every month, Honorable Speaker, and it shows, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the stats, that the programs that government has put in place for domestic violence, the strong laws, is truly working. People are reporting and the successful prosecutions in this regard. The society that our children live in includes the rise of new media in which objectifying and sexualized imagery of women is commonplace. Our children can access pornography before their first sexual experience, and this may be their only or primary source of information on sexuality and sexual relationships. This may influence behaviors as well as attitudes and norms. So let's start with educating our own children about comprehensive sexual education. I believe that prevention and education work by parents within the comfort of their own homes goes a long way in educating our children. Social media and other settings is a good start to develop our children's ability to critique such influences and build the capacity to create healthy sexual identities and respectful, equal, intimate relationships. It is imperative that parents take the charge in monitoring our children's access to the internet. Let's break the silence and talk about sex with our sons and daughters. But also take the initiative to check your children's internet surfing history frequently and consistently. Go a step further and search online for free solutions to filter what our children can access to the internet. Check the applications that they have on their mobile phones. In a nutshell, let's take more responsibility as parents in looking after our children and their well-being on the internet. Honorable Tabuya can also help lead that charge by challenging the backwards patriarchal mentalities that dominate her party. In the meantime, I ask she leave her fake sources in Lindaland, where facts don't matter and coronavirus blows in the southeast trade winds. Please join us back in reality, where this side of the house is striving to make real positive progress for the women and children in this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.